Welcome to the newest episode of Pajama Pants. I'm the number one host, Cassim. With me is my little guy sidekick, Rob Eiler, and as always, our queen from Austin, Jamie-Lynn Sickler. Welcome to the pod.
Live from Austin.
You like my shirt?
It's great. You look great.
I wanted to do this later, but I think I want to get you your shirts now.
It's very like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I got you some fun shirts.
You
remember how you bought me shirts?
Yeah.
I bought you
I
some
do remember
shirts.
that.
Oh.
Oh, this is the Chinese company you were talking
These
about.
I want to address some of the comments from the last podcast. Okay.
Why would anybody comment about that? I mean,
some people thought that we were being hard on the Chinese. I want to let you know that I shop with
You guys,
the
I'm trying to have a career outside of this.
Same.
in China?
Same. Okay.
Everywhere.
I want to let you know.
Well, what did you buy from the Chinese this
my
week,
money
Jamie?
exactly. My money
A
goes
lot.
to the Chinese.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'd say I think I'd like to see
Any of Jack's or Bo's toys, maybe?
I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure
Just
all
checking.
of his Gravedigger Monster Jam toys were.
Should I throw one of these on? Is that what you're trying to
I
do?
want to see you in this.
I like those. I like those colors.
I want to
Alright.
see in this Chinese
Sure.
shirt. Yeah, hold on.
Is it soft or no?
No.
It looks rough. It looks papery.
No. It's the consistency of the stuff you put in gift bags,
There it
the
is.
tissue
Yeah.
paper.
American soft shirts.
I just want to, throw out an olive branch to all our Chinese listeners out there and let you guys know that I love the Chinese, and proof of that is me buying Rob a Chinese shirt. So, and our editor Gabby, who is Cambodian, but for the sake of this podcast today is Chinese. So, Gabby, so sorry, and hope that you can find it in your heart to forgive us. Wow.
And
Look at this guy, huh?
and she's actually Filipino.
Oh, Cambodian was the joke.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's Cassim, not racist Cassim.
Wow.
I look like Kramer, babe.
no, I look like Kramer.
Well, you look like Kramer. I'm wearing a Kramer shirt.
No,
Yeah.
this is good. This is a real nice.
Wow.
It's rolling up my sleeves. Thanks,
Showing
babe.
off those
This is very
thighs.
sweet. This is very sweet.
Like
So
this.
we got a comment, and the comment said, I think Cassim is racist, or like something about being racist. And then
Which I deny.
And then the comment under that comment said, it was like, a Chinese girl edits this podcast
Yeah.
as like that saves us from being racist. And it's so great because she's Filipino
Right. She's not Cambodian.
and Cassim thinks she's Cambodian because we might have had a podcast all about her being Cambodian.
Right. So welcome to a very China friendly podcast.
Oh, you get the soft ones.
No, the thing is, I bought.
He
I
probably
bought like
washed
10
that one.
shirts.
No. This
I
is
bought like 10
this is
shirts
great.
from them. Each shirt you get is a fucking wild card. You have no idea how they fit. You have no
Fun.
idea what they're going to be made out of.
Exciting.
They're $13.
And you blame that on
I blame that on everybody. Not
no one
just one,
specific
not just one country.
or a group of people.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jamie, I think Cassim and my friendship was tested a little bit last week for the first time, maybe. Cassim's like, oh God, what is he going to say now?
No, I don't care what you say.
So I was walking out of here and I was supposed to go on a first date, and Cassim's like, all right, good luck on your date. And as a joke, I turned around and I was like, yeah, can I borrow the Porsche? And he was like, it's broken. It's broken. Like he wasn't going to let me borrow the Porsche. And I was clearly just kidding, but he really he pumped the brakes on our friendship.
Oh, is that what you said when you were walking out of my house?
Yeah.
Oh, because I didn't hear you.
But you said, you were like, it's
Well,
broken.
then what was broken, Cass?
The whole car, apparently.
No, the car.
Yeah, but like if he
I
didn't
took
hear
the car
you,
to the
what,
shop yesterday.
what
No,
were
I
you
didn't.
referring to?
I thought you said something, and I just like I didn't hear what he said. But I said the car's broken.
Oh, because I had the mask on walking out of here because I was getting in an Uber, and I was like, can I borrow the Porsche? Because he was like, good luck on your date. And I was like, oh, can I borrow the Porsche? And he basically said,
I didn't think you
no.
were serious.
Well, I thought you didn't hear me. Which one was this?
No, you said
Yeah.
something, and I didn't.
Now
hear.
I feel like I'm talking to Bo when I'm like so
Yeah.
frustrated because I'm not able to properly
You said
communicate.
something, and I didn't hear it. I don't remember saying that the Porsche is broken, but I probably said that because it is.
Well, with our friendship being tested, here's what I want to know. Like, I have a lot of annoying traits, but for some reason, the thing that bothers you most about me is that I wear shorts. under these shorts, and it bothers you so much. Like I see it in your face that it really bothers you. Like almost like
I take you as you are.
I know, but I'm just saying it seems to really bother you. I want to know what do you think it is about that bothers you?
What do I not like about this? Today I couldn't tell because they're not normally shorts. When you come in, they're like down here.
Yeah, these are different shorts, but the shorts under it are the same. But normally, let's say I was wearing the other one. Why do you get so upset?
Can you do this button for me?
You don't want to see my fat roll?
No, it's nice. No, you skipped a couple buttons.
No, I didn't do any buttons. I just threw it over my head because I was trying
to.
Prompt.
Yes, Jamie.
Last week, I got a missed call from Cassim when I was in the middle of a rehearsal. I was filming, and you never call me. That when I saw my phone, my mind started like racing. I thought something happened to you, Rob. And I got really upset. And he picks up the phone. He's like, hey, I'm like, hi. And he's like, what's up? And I'm like, nothing. What's going on? And he was like, nothing. I'm calling you because you say I never call you and you want to have more of a friendship. And I was like, oh, I can't talk right now, but I'm okay, good. So I'm sorry thank you for
I don't want to have more of a friendship.
He's happy where it is.
No, I think we're in a good spot.
He wants to pump the brakes a little, I think, if anything.
No, I really wanted to make a habit of me, you, and Rob having a call once a day when I drive home from work.
I love it. And so you've never called again, but I just want to say that I was just really taken off guard and I was at work, but I would love for it to happen again. And thank you for hearing me and, doing something about it.
Absolutely.
That's great.
I would love for us to be able to connect more frequently.
Me too.
I find you very interesting. You
do.
You're one of my more interesting friends. And
why am I interesting?
Oh gosh. Well, you have
called your bluff, dude.
Well, here's what it is. And I have an answer for you. You're on a very cool project as we speak. And I like to hear about what that's like, the processes. I like to hear about
that's all this guy cares about.
Like to hear about your family.
Nope. He doesn't.
But sometimes on the pod, I feel like we don't get to spend as much time, for the sake of good pod. We don't want to spend an hour talking about why Bo lies all the time.
No.
But I'm interested because as a guy who wants to have his own family, I feel like I can do a lot of prep work here. I can figure out maybe some things to cut corners on as a dad, things I'm going to be coming up against as a dad.
See, I think
there's no way you can't cut a corner.
I think Bo lying all the time is good pod. I think it's more so like we don't want to get into the minutia of like, oh, this stuff that I like to talk to people on the phone with, which is like, oh, what'd you make for dinner? Like, what'd you have for dinner? Like, we don't want to be podding about that. But when I talk to somebody on the phone, that's stuff I want to know.
I would ask you that, but I know the answer is chicken.
Yeah, I had chicken.
We had our first football Sunday this past weekend.
Oh yeah, you were all together.
Like a proper one, like at our house. Like people came over.
It was supposed to be us.
Yeah,
roasted some veggies.
Who was it? Who was it that came over? Who's the new me?
Becca and Zach, who you've hung out with on
I accept
Sunday.
This. Yeah.
And my friends Odette and Dave, who you'll love, and their daughter. And that was it. We kept it small. Okay, but, I made my roasted broccoli and my sweet potatoes and made some hamburgers.
Now we're podding.
Did you did Cutter ever get some nice meats or did he just keep it?
No,
hamburger?
He has not cooked once. And actually I lie. He cooked right when we moved here and that was that. He's not done a goddamn thing with that Traeger. I bet there's a fucking, I saw my first tarantula.
Ooh, where was it? Now
right outside this fucking office. See, that's right outside this office.
The office that you're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was outside?
And hairy. It was right outside that door.
Oh, wow.
Black and hairy. My hand.
Oof.
Hold up your hand, please.
Was he on like a slow move or a fast move? Because sometimes they just
stopped and looked at me.
Oh.
Sometimes they put two arms up.
Oh, wow.
He didn't do two arms up, but definitely stopped and and then
checked you
kind of
out.
just like went all like very slow, like not in a rush to get out of there. And I just waited. And then when it was far enough away from the step where I feel like it couldn't like back at me, then I went up.
Oh my God. Can you imagine how much would you pay for a video of Jamie running from a tarantula? You know,
Well, I can't run. It'll be
I know.
Tarantula
terrible.
would get her.
That's what I'm saying.
You would catch up to me in 2 minutes and bring me
what?
down
Hunter
to
would
the
find her
ground.
just like completely tied up
You,
with silk.
you know what we'll do? We'll create a rig for you so we can make a video of you running from a tarantula.
Please.
Yeah. it'll look
Anytime.
real.
Well, if you were wondering what I'm envisioning as an actor in my inner monologue, it's probably running from a fucking tarantula. They're freaky.
Is that in your house? Was that one of the guys on the webs outside?
It was black.
This is what's I live underneath like
Dude,
3
you are
trees.
crazy, bro.
Wait, that's a picture you took?
Yeah.
This-
Oh,
we
I
gotta
thought
put
that was
this
like
up.
a Google thing.
Jamie, so
Ew.
Cassim put very nicely. Cassim picked me up last week. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And then when he lets me out of the car and I start walking towards the house, it is like a
It's a
haunted
gauntlet.
house.
It's a gauntlet.
Yeah, where there's just like giant spider webs. And I was like, dude. And in the middle are these guys that are like, I mean, how do you describe? They are 8 different colors: fire, red, orange, hairy, like wild looking things.
Do you
Yeah,
spray? Do you spray?
I don't. I actually let the spiders do their own thing. Here's what I do. I walk out there with like this telescopic wand that has some like brush at the end of it. And before people come over, I'll go out and I'll knock down the webs. But at night they rebuild. And I have a lot of mosquitoes and stuff around because I have a lawn and it's moist and it's just like a lot of water piles up from the sprinklers. So I feel like these guys are helping me, eradicate the mosquitoes. But in turn, occasionally walking from my driveway into the house, it's like, a 50-yard walk. You need to watch out for these guys. And this is a photo I took.
You ever get one on you?
Of course.
Remember
Wow.
how the baby spiders in your bed? I think about that sometimes.
Oh yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, I completely shut that memory out. Like, it
Yeah,
was
so did
trauma.
I. It
I've
was-
never
yeah.
forgotten it.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what episode that was. That
It
might
says
have
something
been
about
10
us.
That might have been 10, 12 pods ago. I don't know what it
Jamie's like,
was.
I think about it every night.
I do. I think about it a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. I don't know. Gabby, maybe you can put it in there what episode that was. But
That was a
essentially,
long time ago.
I had a smoke alarm that was beeping and I couldn't get it to shut off. So I unscrewed it. When I unscrewed it, I put it on my bed so I could like figure out what button to hit. And I just like start feeling stuff on me. And I turned the flashlight on my phone. Bunch of baby spiders scattering just all over my bed,
Oh.
my mattress.
Oof. I don't even like this like rope hitting my knee right now.
Yeah.
Like the headphone wire hitting my knee is bothering me because
this-
we're talking about spiders.
Yeah, this photo.
I bet
was
we can
taken at
find it
night.
because I think it's in. I bet it was one of our Instagram posts. I bet we can find it.
Yeah. So brand new iPhone, by the way, has a macro function. So I got real close to the spider, like this far away, and it
A
was able to-
macro function. What does
Yeah.
that mean for people?
you can like
me?
take like very close up photos of things and it'll without
Focus.
yeah. Like people do that kind of
Cool.
like flower petal bullshit photography.
I was watching this TV show. I forget which one it was. It might have been Married at First Sight, which it's so good. It's just so good. And these guys, this person was saying like, oh my God, I remember how upset I used to be when I was young and like my parents would be mad at me or like I would do something and I would be worried that my parents would be mad at me because I would feel so bad. And I was like, what? Like, I never knew one kid who like actually felt bad when their parents were mad at him, nor did I ever care. I just wanted to, I know. That's why I brought the question up, Jamie. I knew you would raise your hand, but it was more so like I didn't get hit often, but like that was all I cared about. It was like, oh, am I going to get hit? And if it was like, no, I'm not going to get hit, then I don't give a shit. Like
Yeah.
if they were mad at what I did or who fucking cares? Like I was just going to go. I felt like in the home was different than outside. Like the shit I did at school or like on the street was different than like.
Do you hear
in
that
the-
thunder?
I heard something. I thought it was a
Thunder.
trench. The
Move back. I don't know what
Come
you're
back,
doing
Jamie.
out there, dude. Tarantulas, thunder.
So you that's what I
Jackson.
wanted to know, Jamie. Like you would care when your parents were mad at you, right?
Oh my God.
Like you'd care,
Yes.
like you didn't want, like I would care if you were mad at me. I'd be like, oh shit.
Well, I care if anyone's mad at me. Let's not get it twisted. I'm just like, and I would do anything to be like you, Rob. Like, I wish I could give less fucks about what people think of me and if they're mad at me. But yes, my mom like had like an emotional hold on me. I don't know if it's like a mother-daughter thing, but like, yeah, she had like, I inherited like an immense amount of guilt that's been passed down from many generations that I live with, that I like, it's really hard to not care so much if people are going to be upset with you about stuff.
See, I care about like my friends being upset with me. I care about real shit. Like, I would care now if my family was mad at me. But when I was a kid, I always felt kind of like this shit. Like, I'm supposed to be doing this shit. Like, hey, you got called. Like, you didn't show up to it. It's like, just shut the fuck up. Like, yeah, this isn't a big. And then if my parents were like, because sometimes you never knew what you were getting with my dad too. Like, sometimes my dad would be like, oh yeah, that, like, I would get in trouble. My dad would be like, yeah, that thing doesn't matter like at all. Or like sometimes it was something that was absolutely nothing, and he would be so mad. Like, I think it more had to do with what was going on in his life.
Like, I was just gonna say it had nothing to do with you. It was where he was at as a parent. Now I can tell you that. Yeah.
Yeah. If my dad was having a good day or like a couple beers, like it was all good, you know?
Yeah.
Didn't really matter.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I actually am conscious of that, there's so much information out there now about, how to not pass our shit on to our kids and have them really feel like love is unconditional and not feel like that your love is conditional. Like, as long as they fall in line with what you expect or society expects, then they will be loved, which means that you're sacrificing, could be sacrificing a part of yourself for your own happiness. So I try to be conscious for Bo, of being more understanding, and also just kind of being like, he's a fucking kid. Like, I'm going to let this shit go, or I'm not going to get mad at him. I'm going to try and redirect him or correct him in a kinder way. But I mean, I'm human. I lose my shit all the time, and I'm impatient and can get frustrated. But, I try to be mindful of him not feeling like he needs to act a certain way in order for me to love him, if that makes sense, which I think a lot of us, in our generation grew up with, or at least I did.
Guys, my favorite thing about this next ad is Kasim put his own spin on it, where he says his 2 p.m. Spritz Boys. Is that it?
That's right. Every day around 2-3 p.m. I hop into the bathroom. I get a little midday spritz.
Yeah, from Hello Tushy.
Yeah, just because sometimes you're out, you're walking around, and you're just not as fresh as you were when you left the house. And why wouldn't you just go in there and get a little spritz?
And we can never really tell, right, if our tushy has gotten clean enough after using the bathroom. So leave it to Hello Tushy, the modern bidet company, which washes away even the messiest of poo-poos, leaving you with a better clean than just toilet paper. You guys, it's super easy to attach. You don't need to have a plumber or anyone special. It attaches to your toilet very easily. The bidet feature washes your bum with water. It has a self-cleaning system. There's no electricity, like I said, needing. It reduces also your toilet paper use by up to 80%, saving you also money. It's eco-friendly. It's stylish. We love it.
The stylish part, by the way, completely underrated. I've seen a lot of these other bidets that are on the market, and they all look so gross, right? The My Tushy bidet has like the nice wooden knob on it. It doesn't look like it's trying to be from the future, but it actually looks like it's from the 80s. Like, it's got a really great classic look.
Do you ever look back and go like, how was I doing this without this? Like, how was I living without this thing?
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
It's cool. They've got some new products too. They have the Tushy Ottoman, which is like a sleek toilet stool designed to help you poop at 100% efficacy, which we know.
I can't. When I went on this trip, I had to poop without it. Nightmare. I had to get 2 rolls of toilet paper, extra rolls of toilet paper from the house cleaning, and put my feet on those. Horrible experience.
Wow. And when they also have the brand new Tushy brush, which is the only toilet brush with a disposable scrubbing pad. So you can use a clean brush every time and more. So start washing with a Tushy bidet for a better clean. Go to hellotushy.com/pajama to get 10% off plus free shipping. Right, Cass?
That's right. This is a special offer just for our listeners at hellotushy.com/pajama for 10% off. After you buy and install your Tushy, show it off. Tag us at Hello Tushy and at Pajama Pants Podcast on Instagram.
You guys, you know how I can really tell the age of this pod is the fact that we are on Manscaped 4.0. They have been loyal to us. We have been loyal to them. Today's episode, you guys, is once again sponsored by our friends at Manscaped, the leaders in below the waist grooming. It is back to school time, and we want to make sure that you pack the essentials to have the best year yet, which means the Manscaped 4th generation performance package is just that. Things are opening up. Be ready for whatever is in the daily schedule for you. It is the perfect package for your package and includes the brand new Lawnmower 4.0. Fellas, go to the valedictorian of ball trimming and join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com with code PAJAMA.
Listen, the Manscaped 2.0, fine. The Manscaped for me, 3.0 and 4.0 have changed the game. I love using them. It's so easy. It's so fast. They really are better than anything I ever used to trim up. 4.0 has a light on it. It's super fast. And then, I don't even think they should have called the 2.0 a lawnmower because it didn't do what this does, which is this thing looks like a lawnmower. Like hair is just flying all over the place in my shower. So it's a good thing I have like the shower door and the wall because the hair is just like it flies right off. It's incredible. I actually use it for my whole body. I use, I don't know if you're supposed to do that. I don't know if they want you doing that with that, but I use it to shave. You just go
one motion and you just come right up.
I do one line and then I'm done. I put it back in.
Well, they also have the Weed Whacker, which is waterproof and is good for your nose and ears.
I've been using that on my nose. For the first time in my life, I used the Weed Whacker and a nose hair trimmer because I noticed that sometimes I get these hairs that
you look good, man.
They look like they're coming down in the mustache. They try and disguise themselves as part of your mustache hairs, but they're not their nose hairs. And guys, people notice, okay? You got to get in there. And normally if you've gone your whole life, you don't think about it. There will come a time in your life where those nose hairs will grow and they will need to be taken care of, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So do yourself a favor, get the whole performance package at manscaped.com.
It really worked for you. It really did. You look a lot, your nose hair situation is much better than it was last week. Or maybe
was my hair last ago. My hair last week was a problem. It sounds like
I didn't want to listen. I don't want to say like I never want to be that guy. Yeah. It was never a problem because I don't have to. This is as close as I ever get to you. Sure. But this is a treat.
This now.
Yeah.
Before it was a problem.
No, before it was neutral.
Okay.
Now this is a treat.
Okay.
Well, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code PAJAMA at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code PAJAMA at manscaped.com. This year, graduate with a degree in clean balls from Manscaped.
Yeah, I was actually doing a meditation like 3 days ago. And what they said in the beginning is they're like, okay, pick somebody in your life who it's very easy for you to love and you don't have bad feeling towards. And so I picked you, Jamie-Lynn. And I was like, oh, Jamie-Lynn. So I picked you. And now it's like, envision that person and the way you feel about them and how you want nothing but the best for them and this. And that's like the first 5 minutes they talked about stuff. And then 5 minutes in, he just randomly happened to start talking about compassion. Like he's like, what compassion is and this. And he's like, compassion is not like when someone feels bad, you feel bad also. He's like, and I don't know if this is true. This is just what he said. But he's like, compassion is when you hear about somebody feeling bad, you want to help them. And like you feel the need of always wanting to help them. And I think I can relate to that very easily in like present things. Like when things are going on, that's the way I feel. Like I do feel compassion for people. But a lot of times when people are talking about like things that happened to them, I think it's hard for me, unless it's like really tragic, it's hard for me to like be compassionate, but it was weird that Really? Because it was weird that he started saying that in the meditation where I picked you to think about, because I feel like that's something that like I love so much about you is like, I always feel like whenever you hear about bad things happening to people, no matter what, I feel like you're always so compassionate.
Yes, I am, but it's to a certain point. Can get very sensitive to it getting to a certain point where it starts to feel like you are complaining. Like I'm compassionate, but then if people complain too much, it's like, that's the turnoff for me. I have a really hard time with it. And I don't want to fault them for it. I don't want to like say that I think they're wrong. And that's when I like really back away from people, was if they start complaining too much. It's like such a thing for me.
Yeah. I think I'm experiencing that right now with some people around me that complain. It's like their default setting. It's their default reply is like, they're either contrarian or they're complaining about whatever it is. That's their first instinct. And it's so indicative to me of the type of person you are when like something somebody said something, it's either good or bad, but your first instinct is to like come at it from another angle or find the wrong thing. And I'm more sensitive to it because I think I used to be, and maybe sometimes to an extent, but like I think I've gotten a lot better, but I would always come up with the things that were wrong with something first, as opposed to like looking for the positive and but it's there's people that I'm around right now it's like we'll be told something and then their instinct is to be like, oh, I can't believe they're making us do that, or like, instead of like, and it's poison, and what it does is it like infects everyone else. And if somebody else like on the fence about feeling like I could be positive or I could be negative about this thing, and then this positive person like, or this negative person speaks, and that person goes like, oh yeah, like that person's negative, I'll be negative. And then all of a sudden you're like the only person that's like, it's not so bad, and everyone's like, come on, rubble. And it gets really old.
Yes.
And then those people are really tough to be around. And that person I'm talking about is Gabby.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say me. I agree. And I think we've actually talked about this on the pod before, where like I feel like it's so much more acceptable to sit down at dinner with somebody and go, when somebody goes like, oh, how are you? And you're like, God, or just sit down and go like, man, there's fucking traffic on the way here. Or like, God, just like, like when people are like, oh, my fucking wife is this, or like kids are that. And then like, that's very like, you could instantly relate to that. I feel like, whereas somebody sits down and is like, God, I just can't believe how unbelievably great my life is. And my wife is such an incredible person. And I drove such a beautiful car here. And that like, that could be a turnoff,
Right.
and it's like, and again, I think we spoke about this, but it's like, who's the asshole guy on The Simpsons, right? The next door neighbor who's like, hey, good morning.
Yeah.
Like
Ned Flanders.
Right. But that's what I'm saying is like, if you watch that whole show, like the
Right.
biggest asshole on the show is the guy who's like, how are you? Like, it's great to see. Good morning, sir. Like,
Right.
or like, hi ho. And like, he's just being a nice guy, but somehow our brains accept that as like, oh, this fucking asshole again. Like that,
it's weird. I have friends who talk about like, if there's a girl that's talking about whether she's struggling dating or struggling getting pregnant or, any kind of, female centric big thing in your life that you can deal with, like it, as an adult, it's not right. I've been told it's not right for you to ever, like, you should downplay your own situation if it is a positive one for the benefit of their feelings. And I've done that many times in my life. And I do feel like I'm a sensitive enough person that like, I'm not going to gloat about anything about when somebody might be struggling with that. I'm obviously very sensitive to that, but I do feel like that's a slippery slope. Like I just don't know like how
you do that enough,
that
it's going to affect your own.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think that's a really healthy habit. Totally. Like, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, never mind. That sucks. I'm like, no, I'm so sorry that you're dealing with that. Like, I didn't have to, like, that's where I kind of come from. I'm always like, that wasn't my experience, but I can't imagine. And I'm sorry. But,
Yeah.
you know, I have friends that will like actually get pissed off if anybody doesn't just like, they think it's the right things to do is to kind of misery loves company, I guess.
I think totally. I think I really like what you're saying about you don't have to match that person's energy in any way, but you can like observe what they're saying and provide empathy. And then maybe you don't have to like gloat or do anything in that moment and find an appropriate time to be like, oh yeah, like I just got cast in the show. Like all that stuff is all like timing based.
Yeah.
I think if you're listening to this and you're not sure what type of personality you are, it's real easy to notice it in other people, but sometimes not so much in yourself. I notice when somebody enters into a room, like the type of energy that they're bringing in, right? And it can even be as simple as, is this person smiling when they walk in? Or like, even if the person you're dating is, I've dated somebody like every time that person came into the room, they'd suck all the energy out because you're worried about what that person's like. Oh no, like, oh, the look on this person's clearly tired, frustrated, and like, we're going to hear about it, as opposed to somebody who, like, when I see Rob, generally always has a smile on his face. And the first things out of his mouth is always like, hey, how are you? Like, how's it going? Or he says something in like an Italian accent, you know, or like brings up an inside joke. Every time I see him, it's a positive interaction. And over time, my brain goes, that's somebody I want to be around more.
Yes.
When you're around people that are like, just pay attention to what you say. Is it a positive comment or is it a negative comment? And like, keep track of that. And you can catch yourself like, oh, that thing I just said was negative. Or like, even if you're talking about, oh, I hate that show, because that stuff becomes habit and you start doing it, not just about the show you're watching, but about the people you're with and about like the food you're eating. I mean, it's really interesting.
Great
to
advice.
See. Totally. Just try and walk into a room with like, even if you're having a shitty day, even like when we used to work at Best Buy and we'd say like, when you come into work, you leave it all at the door. You know, you leave it at the door. You walk in, you put a smile on your face. And that's not bad advice. You shouldn't ignore the feelings that you're having, but you should have some sort of self-awareness that you're entering around that other people are occupying, and your energy is going to affect other people.
The only thing blue about you is going to be that shirt, kid.
That's right.
Exactly.
Well, you know, another way that I've sort of become self-aware is that I notice the things that trigger me from other people, or the things that I feel like super sensitive to, whether it's, you know, things that they say or things that they harp on, even things they complain about. I immediately try to understand why I'm getting triggered by it and what it is about me. Because usually the things that I'm bothered by from other people are things that either I have been bothered about from myself, or, you know, it's just helps me be more self-aware. And I feel like for the most part, usually when I'm around other people, like I'll explain where I'm at, but I can let it go. But there have been some low points in my life where I just can't. And I will be aware, like, I'm sorry that I'm such a fucking bummer to be around right now, but like, I'm really struggling. And I think that I've gotten better though, because I used to, like kind of hole up and then not reach out to people and not talk to anybody because I didn't want to be the bummer. So I think there is a dance though of finding the right people to be able to just really be
find
where
your
you're
Rob,
at with.
find your Jamie, whoever those people in your life that are like, you know, will always like hear you or like give you that energy that helps. That's kind of what the beauty is with surrounding yourself with people like that. Because when you do have a bad day or having a bad moment, you can go to those people as opposed to somebody who's also like an energy vampire, and they'll only make things worse, and like they'll only rile you up. You know, there's a lot to be said in the company that you keep.
Yeah.
I
once again, Gabby is not this person.
I notice sometimes, like, you know, we talk about like when you're an actor, sometimes not that I'm some fucking, you know, great actor, but you like absorb the people around you. So like if somebody laughs a certain way, you might laugh a certain way or talk a certain way or like act a certain way. You kind of start doing that. But something I notice with me is like, if I'm around people who, like if I'm around a loud person, I like quiet down, you know, because I see them being loud and I'm like, oh, I don't want to be loud, you know. But then if I'm around someone who's really quiet, I find myself being louder because I'm like, hey, let's get something going here. Like, you know, so sometimes I could bring, I bring like the opposite energy of like what I'm around, you know?
Yeah.
You're a good scene partner. You're a good improviser in that way.
Okay. And then, you know, another,
that is not an example of
it. Right.
Okay.
You know, like, and then another thing I've noticed is like, you know, we talked about in the relationship I was in recently, I tried to fix that. Like, you know, it means so much to me to be right at times. And what I was working on that, but what I didn't realize was like, and this kind of is the same thing, but it's not, where it's like, it actually means, what really means something to me is like when someone's wrong, it's really hard for me to fucking let it go. And it doesn't have to be that I'm right. Sometimes I even say like, sometimes I'm like, I don't even know the answer to this thing. Like, I don't know, but what you're saying is wrong. And it's really hard for me to let go, where like, if I
Cutter is the same as you in that way.
Like if I know I'm right about something, I actually can let it go. Cause I'm like, I know I'm right. It's fine. It's when I don't really know, but I know what this person is saying is not correct, that like it won't leave my head. Like it just stays swimming around up there.
It's hard for you to like let them walk through life thinking that they're right and spewing this bullshit.
Yeah, especially when they're confident in it, you know?
Yes, yes. That was going to say, it's usually a person that like is so sure that they're right and they're wrong that it will bother you.
Yeah. And I'll leave them and I'll still be like, God damn it. Like, you know, it'll be fucking stuck where I'm like, I need to, you know, like I need them to know. And it could just be like one person and so dumb. And I hate that about myself, you know? Our next sponsor is one of my favorites. Before we ever did this pod, I was using it. I sent it to Jamie-Lynn. Jamie-Lynn. Did I send it to you, Jamie?
Yeah, you did. Way long
back
time
in the
ago.
day. Jamie-Lynn loves it. I know they offer a free month for our listeners. So you have nothing to lose. Go check it out. See if you like it. If you don't like it, fine. Free month. It's
we're talking about Headspace.
Yeah, Headspace is for meditation. It's an app for meditation. The biggest thing that I had a problem with meditation in the beginning was remembering to do it. Like I knew I wanted to do it, and then I would do it for 3 days on my own, and then the fourth day forget. And then I was like, oh, one day, what's 1 day, 2 day? Who cares? This. But this reminds you every single day, and it becomes like brushing your teeth. It just becomes a habit that's part of your day, and it's really helped me, as you could tell. I'm a fucking ball of sunshine, huh?
You are so centered.
And you know what the best part is? They have different meditations for different reasons. So whether you're needing help falling asleep, whether you're feeling anxiety, overwhelmed, they have SOS meditations for you. So, you know, I think especially for the not experienced meditator, sometimes you could feel like, where do I begin? So scroll through their amazing library, see what speaks to you. You can do something for as short as 3 minutes. That's all it takes for you to get the taste, to really feel the benefits that we've all felt. We talk about it all the time. Headspace itself is backed by 25 published studies on its benefits, 600,000 5-star reviews, and over 60 million downloads. You guys, that's huge. Headspace, it just makes it so easy for you to build a life-changing meditation practice with mindfulness that works for you on your schedule, anytime, anywhere.
Right. Also, just his voice, by the way, is the best. Like butter this guy. Do yourselves a favor, download it. Even if you don't think meditation is for you, I guarantee if you just give it a chance and even do their like first 10-day trial thing, by the end of 10 days, you'll be amazed by how much easier it is than when you started. And if you have an editor that's raising her prices and it's becoming kind of an issue for you, and you can't sleep as well over the cost of what it costs to produce one podcast, maybe you just meditate on it and you come back and you're better. And everyone's happier. You're happier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cassim, you deserve to be happier.
I deserve to. Thank
tell
you,
him,
guys.
Does he deserve? No, you tell him, Amy.
No, tell him.
You at home deserve to feel happier. And Headspace is a meditation made simple. Go to headspace.com/pajama. That's headspace.com/pajama for a free 1-month trial with access to Headspace's full library of meditation for every situation. This is the best deal offered right now. So again, head to headspace.com/pajama.
Okay, you guys want to know something?
Yeah.
My kitchen game has really upped itself.
How?
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm using all natural stuff. Okay. I got nice products that look nice, and they're all like low carbon footprint, eco-conscious products that I've gotten from the Grove Collaborative. And this is one of our sponsors, and you guys can do this at home too. What is Grove Collaborative? Well, it's an online marketplace that delivers natural home beauty and personal care products directly to your door. Their aim is to make living a healthy lifestyle easy and accessible for you and your family.
Yes. And every product they sell is guaranteed to be healthy, effective, eco-friendly, and affordable. So you can shop with confidence, knowing everything you buy from them is good for you, your family, your home, and the planet. It's hard to kind of, skim through things and decide what will fall in line with these, ethics, and Grove Collaborative does all of that work for you, makes it really easy. They have brands like some of my favorite, the Mrs. Myers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then they have their own stuff too. You could pick which one you want. You'll recognize a lot of the brands.
I have their counter cleaner and their Windex, and it's like orange scented. It's like super safe, and it doesn't feel like you're using any harsh chemicals. And it comes with this nice spray bottle that's all glassed. All the stuff looks really good. And that's kind of what I care the most about, but I'm glad to know that it's also good for the environment.
Yeah, it's nice to go somewhere where all the products are just vetted. You throw it in your cart, you get it. You don't have to worry about.
That's right. So choosing products that are better for you and the planet has never been easier. For a limited time, when our listeners go to grove.com/pajama, you will get to choose a free starter set with your first order. So go to grove.com/pajama to get your exclusive offer. That's grove.com/pajama.
Join over 2 million households who choose to shop sustainably at Grove. When Kasim said he doesn't want to be the person who complains, it's like, because I know Kasim is so funny, when he does it, it's different than when somebody does it who's not funny. You know what I mean? Like, I've told this story on the pod too, but I didn't see Kasim for like 2 years or whatever. And I came out to LA for Jamie's wedding. Hadn't seen Kasim in 2 years. I call him like, yo, I'm here. I got an Airbnb. You want to come by? He's like, yeah, sure. And he comes by, he shows up, and like, again, 2 years. And like, I give him a hug. I'm like, how you been, babe? He goes, I just took my fucking dog to the beach and there's just sand all over my house. But because it was Cass, it's like, I've not only did I laugh about it, but I still think about it. And I'm like, it's funny because it's him. But I think there are people where
this was when I was drinking.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And but I think
still sand in here.
The problem is like, I think I'm definitely lucky enough to where like, I don't have a 9 to 5, so I don't have to sit next to someone in an office who like is this way and I can't do anything about it, because it's like in my life, if there's people who are just dragging me down so much, I just reach a point where I go, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of people who are in situations where they can't do what, maybe all of us can kind of do, which is just be like, hey, get the fuck out of here. Like, just kind of
this reminds me of a story Cutter told me yesterday, where he was on a Zoom and somebody was sharing their screen, and like she was the host and she was sharing her screen and it had her desktop up there. And this guy started speaking and someone messaged her, I cannot fucking stand when this motherfucker talks. And it just showed up on this Zoom. And he's like, everyone was like, oh shit.
Yeah, dude.
I'd be like, finally, something fucking happened in these Zoom meetings.
What you got to do is divert the attention. Just start jacking off on camera and get it. Yeah. There's so many moments, like, cause I've just joined the workforce and I'm just learning how to use like Google and Gmail and all this stuff. And like, I find myself having to like, make sure my mic is off. There's a lot of, there was one meeting I had where it was on this computer where I do the pod. And I did the meeting and it was like, all right, we're going to do this and this. I'm like, yo, get right on that.
He spun right around
I spun around on this computer and started playing Rocket League. And then I get a little message on like Gmail or whatever the chat is. And they're like, hey, you remember to turn off your camera. We can see you.
Playing video games.
I just turned around. I was like,
you know, it would be even better.
Close window.
Terrible.
It would be even better if they saw you, the back of your head bouncing around going, yo, get right on it.
Yo, okay.
Oh, yeah, work. He fucking flipping and hitting the soccer ball.
Yeah.
Rocket League is a video game for anyone like me who didn't know before that.
Bo
they
loves
know.
his Rocket
They know.
League.
Yeah. They know.
Should I get Bo a PlayStation 5 for Christmas, by the way?
Good luck. Good luck getting one of those.
Yeah,
dude.
we're both. What's going on with
You're
you?
itching.
I'm sweating so much.
We're dying.
I'm sweating so much in these shirts.
We're gonna have to
Because
stop
all the shit
pod.
you've talked about China.
Oh no.
Yeah,
We gave them our business.
come sweat it out at Cassim's.
We don't need your business.
By the way, next week, we're all going to watch The Many Saints of Newark, and we might have somebody
Yes.
coming on to explain the movie, maybe some stuff that we might not understand.
Is he involved with the movie?
I don't know.
That's a tease. baby.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out next week.
Tune in next week to your favorite Sopranos podcast, Pajama Pants.
Yeah.
Are there still urban legends that you like, or you might not even or have learned at like a much later age? Like, oh, that was just an urban legend. Like I thought that was a real story. Like I remember one of the ones that I believed up until I kind of still believe it. That's the problem.
Mm.
Was there was somebody, and this is all allegedly McDonald's. There was somebody who I always loved a crispy chicken sandwich at McDonald's. And there was somebody who got the crispy chicken sandwich at McDonald's drive-thru and said, no mayonnaise. And then they started eating it in the car while they were driving and they realized there was mayonnaise on it. They went back and they said like, no. They like showed the thing or whatever. They looked at the receipt and they're like, no, there was no mayonnaise. And I was thinking, and they said the chicken had like a tumor and it was pus. Allegedly McDonald's. We love
If you want to sponsor the pod,
we love Happy Meals.
We'll take your chicken sandwiches, tumors, and all.
Well, there was
Okay.
a big scandal with your mom's house and McDonald's. So we actually don't accept your
That's right.
sponsorship.
Yeah. You
McDonald's.
turned your back to Tom and Christina, and
What
we
did they do?
turn our backs to you.
Yeah, and we play Rocket League. They gave it's a long story, Amy. I'll tell you later. You got to
Okay.
watch the history. We got to make a like behind the music of your mom's house where we tell the story.
You know, one urban legend that I still kind of believe on the same tip.
Let's hear the mafia.
It's the one about if you see somebody without their headlights on,
Yeah.
and then you flash them to let them know
They're
that they're
gonna kill you.
gangbangers and they'll come after you and kill you.
Yeah, that's true.
So to this day,
Gangbangers.
even though I'm pretty sure that's not true, if I see somebody with their headlights off, unless I can see who's in it, I
Right.
won't alert them.
Well, you're saying even though I'm pretty sure it's not true, there's
I-
no way to know it's not true because somebody might kill you.
If I see a car full of gangbangers with their headlights off, for sure,
You just wave.
I go continue on this dark road.
Yeah, you shut yours off.
I,
I
shut
don't think
mine
I'm
off
ever
and
on.
I give
Drive
Same.
off a cliff. You start flashing signs.
I don't think me and gangbangers drive on the same roads.
Oh, well, Amy, you were living in LA for fucking a long time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's why I moved.
These shirts.
Don't
are
you guys
something.
have MS-13 over there?
What's that?
These shirts are. Your armpit feels.
I'm
sticky?
I
actually
might be
shocked that
allergic
Rob
to
put
this.
it. Yeah, I was gonna say you just put that shirt on without really any research.
I never do this. Normally, I'm a wash.
Yeah, I was- you would
first
never
kinda
do
guy.
this.
I know. but it's
Never.
Cass. What am I gonna? You know.
I
have
like
like
how you
you
do
have
that.
like virgin skin there. The way you take care of yourself. This is
I know.
really.
What do you think of this color on him? Though looks good.
I
right?
love the colors on him.
You look
I love
great on-
Robin
with
colors.
pink.
Yeah.
Pink's good.
You think so?
Yeah, I like it on you.
Yami, did you believe any?
I was
See,
as you guys were talking. I can't remember any.
by the way, like I don't even know if the gangbanger thing is an urban legend because if you think about it, like that could happen, right? Like, like to me, urban legends are things where it's like No, that never happened. Where like if you flash your lights at the wrong gangbangers, that all that's got to do is happen once in the history of the world, and then it's legit. I think it might be legit then.
I mean, it could be. The thing was, I think it was like they were doing it on purpose.
Oh,
they were
now
going,
we're talking.
Yeah, they were going around looking for people.
Okay.
Yeah, who would, just, concerned citizen that was like, hey, your lights are on. They're like, let's fuck that guy up.
Yeah, if you're listening to this pod driving at night, Godspeed.
Yeah, be careful out there. We got some emails.
Well, I wanted to, Jamie, did you say you had any urban legends or no?
No,
she said
I can't remember any.
None. Wow, especially Long Island. I would think Long Island was like chock full of fucking urban legends.
Yeah,
I'm sure I knew 1,000, but
the New Jersey Devil.
I can't remember.
Well, that's more of like a cryptid.
Yeah, the Montauk the critter,
Montauk monster.
The Montauk monster. Yeah.
Well, if you think of any yams, feel free to let us know. Look, I'm just going to throw this out there.
Phil from Long Island.
We have a Phil from Long Island email. Okay. And we skipped him last pod.
Can we see Jamie's face? Because when you say Phil from Long Island, I want to know Jamie's reaction. Can we got to move this over.
I just went Phil.
Okay. I didn't
give good face or anything.
I can't pod when we're covering your face.
All right, guys. And for my pro Phil guys out there, this is for you. If you're an anti Phil, send us an email at askpajamapants.com.
I feel like this is just for Cass.
askpajamapants@gmail.com. This is just for me.
Yeah.
This one is from Phil. Hello, Jamie, Rob, and the Culver City Heartthrob.
All right, you're winning me over.
You know what? I've been thinking, Cass, you have developed into a really great host of the podcast. And I believe that you can be the next big name in late night TV.
Yes.
And a host of your own show. Really? Thank you, Phil.
Yeah. I love that idea.
Great.
I could see you starting at the 12:30 slot. And with the right marketing and production, you could be the next Conan or Letterman. I mean that, pal. Thank you, Phil. That's really nice. Jamie, you were right. The pic of me with my daughter was in the South Shore of Long Island, parentheses, the 5 towns.
Thanks, Phil.
And you made me laugh when you said, are they 8 feet tall? I'm 6'1" and my baby's 5'7". Best wishes, Phil.
Oh my God. This is a sentence that you say about me and you all the time.
I'm 6'1" and my baby's 5'7".
Oh, that's funny. You know what, Cass? I think you would kill it as like a Conan type host because you have this like, you're cool, you're very smart, you're very witty, but you have this like charming way with women where you make us giggle. And you're like
creepy. Every time I look at the comments,
you're not creepy yet. Like where you don't know, you're not creepy. Yeah, you're not threatening.
Yeah.
You know, where you're like,
I need to work.
Do I have a crush on him? Like you have just like that like way about you. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, that's so nice of you, James. It means a lot coming from you.
I don't want to burst any bubbles here.
No, come on. She said a really nice thing.
I just want to say, we did a F, marry, kill one time with you, Bryce, and George.
Well, we've come a long way.
And Jamie killed you. And George was involved. Yeah. And now she's like, do I have a crush on him? I don't know. Jamie, you killed him. But here's
a long time ago.
It was before she saw me with my shirt off.
Yeah. I feel like I know Cass very well. And I think, not that you couldn't do it. I think you could do it at like a late night Conan type of this. I don't think you'd be happy doing that. I think you would be incredible doing something like, I don't know if the way to say it is like a notch under it, but like Zach Galifianakis, like in between two ferns, like that.
Or would you like doing like the Trevor Noah show or like
no?
Daily
See,
show?
I think you know what the problem with those things is. Like, I think you have to shtick it up too much, and I think like the first 6 months, Cassim would be fucking jazzed about it and like all excited in this, and then it would start to weigh on him and get worse and worse. I think he would have to do something.
Have no time for video games.
Yeah, I think he would need to do something where there wasn't some like big like 80-year-old gray-haired executive being like, we need you to be more this way, like some slothy kind of guy.
No, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. I think what's great about this job at G4, and we're actually going to make, by the time this podcast airs this coming Thursday, so if today's Monday and or Tuesday, depending on when you're watching this Thursday, we're announcing something big about G4. And what I'm going to say is that I think I'll be able to do what you're talking about at G4. It might not be like a late night show or whatever, but like where my comfort level is, you know, I'll be able to do that there. But I appreciate everything you guys just said. I'm going to clip that and post it somewhere.
Yeah.
Got a couple emails.
Oh, wait. I wasn't done complimenting you.
Oh,
I also want, because I think like a lot of the areas that you like excel in or whatever aren't appreciated on those like formats where like I think the way that you talk about like film and or TV shows or this, and when you get like in depth about it, and you like, I think you're very knowledgeable on these things, and I feel like in these like fucking artificial 6-minute interviews and like I don't feel like you really would shine, you know?
Yeah, it is hard to do stuff that's like small soundbitey stuff, you know, for TV, and you know, it's we'll see how that goes. But thank you.
Yeah.
2 emails in a row, Jamie, both have the same subject, which is Bo's lying.
Oh, great. Give it to me.
I'm going to read you both of them. Okay.
Okay.
Hello from my pajama pants. I'm currently watching episode 107 and writing in for Jamie-Lynn and her conundrum about Bo's lying. And this is about last podcast here. Jamie talked about how Bo's just been such a little liar lately. I remember growing up, my brother was a total pathological liar from the ages of 8 to 10 or so. And now I work professionally with children and have seen it commonly in boys around that age. So your sweet Bo is likely just going through a phase. However, I will say most of the time when I do see this sort of behavior, it's some way of gaining attention from others, whether it's peers or adults. And the attention can be positive, parentheses, friends think I'm cool, or negative, parentheses, parents reprimand me. I usually work on teaching the individual a new, more appropriate behavior that can help them get that same attention. Oftentimes teaching them jokes or how to tell a fun story instead of just straight up lying about something that didn't happen is helpful. P.S. I hope Jack is doing well. I think someone else wrote in about this before, but as someone who works exclusively with children with ASD, I don't know what that is, attention something disorder, I would also strongly urge getting him evaluated for an ASD diagnosis. P.S. I'm also excited for the Lou Lowe documentary cast. Fuck MLMs. Thanks. Love you guys. It's from Haley.
Thank you.
Thanks, Haley.
Yeah. You know, I actually had a parent teacher conference today and she told me that, you know, everyone loves Bo's stories. And I was like, oh God. I was like, I can pretty much guarantee 95% of them aren't true. And she's like, yeah, I know. But honestly, the kids love them. They love when Bo tells stories and he's just exploring his imagination.
And this is not just to toot your horn in any way, but when me and Bo would work on comic book stuff, the way and how fast he was able to come up with like backstories for the characters.
You might have started this.
I could be solely responsible, but he's got such a quick mind. Maybe he's just bored. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he's just like keeping himself entertained. How old is Bo now?
8.
Could you imagine the teacher's like, it's adorable. All the kids think his mom is a television star and his grandpa's name is Nails. And you're like, oh, wait, no,
that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. True. This one's the same subject, Bo's line, except they spelled Bo with an X at the end, which is very cool.
Yeah.
Hi, Amy Lee. Hi, Amy Lee. I lied all the time as a child. I had a happy home, no reason to lie, but I would. And I'd always get caught out by the teacher asking my parents about something I'd said in show and tell. And my parents would be like, what? I don't think it's anything to worry about. For me, it was all about imagination. I grew out of it by about 7 and channeled it into writing. I'm now 34, very well adjusted and write for a living.
Cool.
It ties in exactly what we were just saying. Definitely explain to him that it's wrong to trick people. Instead, maybe try to channel these lies into writing, making up stories instead. Stories he can share with other people as long as he tells people that they are, in fact, stories. I honestly think this shows a great imagination in Bo, and he sounds very clever. Love all you guys. Thanks for making such a sweet, funny, and genuine podcast. And because I found this pod through YMH, I got to sign off by telling y'all to keep it high and tight. Cheers from Sophie, a fan from New Zealand.
Cool. Love it.
Hello,
yeah.
Sophie.
Similar to, I guess, what the teacher was telling me today.
Yeah. I think
before we get off the Bo subject, I just have to tell you quickly this conversation we had at dinner tonight. Cause
can we get like Bo's weekly lie?
Yeah.
Well, or just hold on.
You sneezy?
She just
Um,
farted.
You gave me sneeze?
Gabby
No,
Post.
I had like something in my throat, but I'm okay. Some Bo update. He was talking about like how his bus driver is really mean or something. And he's like, yeah, if he was a girl, he'd be a Karen. And I'm like, what's a Karen, Bo? And he's like, well, it's like, let's say you're the lifeguard and I walk up to you and I'm like, excuse me, lifeguard, there's kids that are running and screaming and that sign says don't run and scream. So I would like to be the lifeguard so I can yell at them and tell them to stop. And that's how he
And
explained what a Karen was.
That's exactly what.
And I was like,
That's a good
okay,
one.
Bo, thank you. Wasn't that pretty
The
good
only-
explanation for a kid who actually doesn't know what a Karen is?
I think he
Yeah.
does.
He said he learned it on Roblox.
Oh yeah, no wonder. The only time I ever feel like a Karen in my whole entire life is when I'm in the gym and there's like 6 people with masks on and there's one person I see on the machine like all the way at the end and they don't have their mask on and no one sees it and I'm like I just can't, like, you know, and
Do
not
you ever
because
talk? Do you ever think about going over there and talking to him?
no, because it's not about like I want him to put his mask on. It's more like when I do my exercise, I want to be able to take my mask off.
Right.
You
So
know?
what
Right.
should that person get to do?
Yeah. It's not so. Yeah, I guess maybe that's not Karen because I don't care that he wants to take his mask. Dude, I was at this fucking wedding with 200 people. It was like COVID did not exist,
Dude,
and it was
there's no COVID here in Austin.
right. Yeah, at all. Right.
No, I mean, like when I'm in the grocery store, actually, the last time I went, I maybe saw like 2 other people with a mask other than me. And all employees are masked, but yeah, no. I
That
mean,
shit
I
makes me
wake,
uncomfortable. Like
I
at
make
this
Bo
wedding.
wear it on the bus. Just because I feel like it's like they're all sharing seats and stuff and they can't sanitize it much. I've gotten an email probably the past 4 weeks of kids testing positive on his bus.
Really?
Wow.
And
Yeah.
are kids vaxxed at that age or no?
No, and you guys,
Not in
I
Texas,
don't know.
bro.
I just no, they will never mandate a
Can't pierce the skin of Texas.
vax for
with that
kids.
needle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel bad. He both said to me today, he was like, "Is this ever gonna go away?" And I was
What
like,
do
"I
you
get
say?
why you feel that." I was like, "I don't know, buddy. I mean, I know everybody's trying to figure it out. I've never experienced anything like this in my lifetime, and I know it's really rough for you as a kid to have to go through it, you know?" But it's like these kids, they're really confused. Like they can't wrap their heads around it and they're listening to what everybody's telling them to do, especially so that they can, having somewhat of a normal life, but it's got to be fucking them up somehow.
It's
Yeah.
all
I
fucking nuts.
have to get a COVID test every
Yeah.
week.
Every other
And
day I have to get one.
Sarah's
working.
had COVID already, but she's like just the last week. I think it's her allergies, but she's been like real stuffy but her, otherwise has been fine. But like anytime I see anyone cough, I go, oh fuck. Like it's just crazy what it's done to like psychologically.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like
To
I
us.
never used to think twice about shit like that ever.
Yeah.
Cutter always lived in some way, like, his whole life, but I never thought about that shit.
That's the thing. It's like, if I'm not scared of this shit, it's like people need to chill out
Yeah.
because I'm like,
exactly.
I'm so like fucking germs and this and that, like before COVID. And then like the first
Yeah.
fucking 6 months of COVID and this, and then it's just getting to the point where it's like, holy shit, like what are we?
But it's
Again,
weird. Like
it's just-
I had a girlfriend about 2 months ago that got it. She's vaccinated, but got it. She was real sick, but her husband didn't get it. And she was around me the day before she tested positive. I didn't get it. Like she was in a room with me, like pretty close. I don't
Yeah.
get it's
How
just,
often were they
it's a
testing you
crapshoot.
while you're on set? Every
I get
day?
tested. They test me here as well in between while I'm working. Every other day I get tested until I'm done working on the show. I have to be tested every other day.
What would be the point of testing you when you're not coming to work?
Because I'm home. They have to just make sure that they're keeping track that I'm negative throughout my entire duration of being on the show.
Yeah, they're sticklers. We had last Thursday, we were supposed to have a show at 1, and we came in, like everyone comes in at like 9 on those days, and we rehearse and we go through the like tech rehearsal and blocking and stuff. And then like at 12:30, the COVID guy comes over, he pulls everyone around. He's like, hey guys, somebody tested positive that has been in this building in the last 2 days. And so we've, just to be safe, we're canceling the whole shoot. Like, this is like tons of money that went into like, you know, and it was the first, it's actually the second time that's happened since like March.
We got shut down 2 weeks ago because the sound department tested positive for 7 hours. We got shut down just waiting there to find some new sound department in New Mexico.
Yeah. It's killing production. I mean, it's good that people are safe, but like the amount of money that productions and companies are putting in just to have a COVID guy that's getting paid like a full.
There's a COVID
salary.
team. They wear blue vests. That's how you know they're a COVID team.
At this wedding, people had to stand like outside of the wedding the whole time, and you had to show either like a negative test or a fucking
vaccination card.
Yeah, or like a vaccine thing to get into the party. And here's what fucking, again, like, it just made me really uncomfortable that there were 200 people at this wedding, and the 12 people who were like serving food or whatever are wearing masks, and you're like, it feels uncomfortable. Like, they had this station where like you would go and get like steak or whatever, or this, and like talking to the person with the mask on, like I was like, I don't even want to go. Like, it just felt really uncomfortable.
Yeah. I feel like I've been thinking about it so much more again, just when I started working, because I'm conscious of like, I don't want to be the one to bring a production down. I don't want to be the person to get COVID and have to ruin anything for anybody else. Prior to me getting this job, I wasn't thinking about it as much.
That's how I feel about when we were going to your house. Like, I wasn't, like, in the beginning, I was worried about getting COVID. And then it got to the point like 6 months later where when we were going to your house, I was like, I just don't want to get COVID and bring it to fucking Jamie's whole family.
Yeah.
Because I would feel,
I was like wiping down my grocery bags.
Oh my God.
See, I never did that thing, but I did other stuff that was crazy, but never
they told us all kinds of stuff like in the beginning that was just so off.
It was science.
We would leave Amazon boxes in our garage for like 4 days before
on
we
the
touched
side
it.
of caution.
Sure. Hope we're still in this 10 years from now, guys. It's great. I like it. Everybody wash your hands. Dude, I'm on this fucking,
we can all agree. That's great advice.
I'm on this fucking plane, and the person announcing on the fucking megaphone is saying, everyone, you should do this, wash your hands every 15 to 20 minutes in the bathroom with the, like,
on the plane.
The person, they're like, the emergency exits are there, and also wash your hands every 15 to 20 minutes. And like, one of my friends who fucking owns restaurants was saying like, his restaurant was closed for a fucking year, but that whole time people were flying in a tube 50,000 feet up in the air for 12 hours with no masks on while they eat. And that was fine, but people couldn't eat at his outdoor restaurant. It's like,
that's crazy.
It's all fucking nuts. Dr. Drew was on some shit, and he was saying that, and listen, I'm just quoting Dr. Drew here.
And he's a doctor, and not only a doctor, but also been on this podcast, which makes him extra legit.
Yeah. And I believe what he said was there were no doctors anywhere, or there was nothing in medical books that ever recommended like a shutdown, stay at home thing.
Yeah. I think what he said was like, that was recommended by some like high school student who did like the shutdown.
Science. It was science, I think, actually.
Well, the shutdown that had really more to do with like that was more political. The science was telling us, look, you should wash your hands, wear a mask.
I think actually, didn't they say like the washing the hands thing didn't even matter? It was the in the air, right? Like, I think
there was a moment where they were like, yeah, it's airborne. It's like there was a moment where it's like, I thought every time I stepped foot out of my house, I was going to catch a breeze of it. And I was going to get sick.
Right.
Same.
Yeah.
Right.
I would like ride my bike with my kids, and Cutter would be like, wear your mask. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
We're in the middle of the street.
Well, we're all doing great.
That
now.
was COVID talk with Rob, Jamie, and Cass. We
Yeah.
won't do that again for a while.
We hope we've helped you.
And you can take that info to the bank.
I'm
Yeah,
more
this is
confused
just-
than I've ever been.
This is just three friends talking about what we're dealing with.
Please
We're
don't
not
listen to us.
trying
We're fucking idiots,
yeah,
and
we're not trying to give
Yeah,
any
we don't
fucking
care.
recommendations.
You do what you want to do with yourself. Okay.
You do you, Boost.
You kill my parents, I'll come after you. Look, I'm gonna do one quick email, and then I think that's almost a pond.
Yeah, I think we're.
I see you changed your shirt.
I had to go back. I was dying, babe. I love you. I was trying to fucking.
You looked
it's
really
not a fabric.
uncomfortable. I'm
It
glad
was
you
not a
changed.
fabric that was conducive to comfort.
No,
Yeah.
or virgin skin, as Jamie said.
His skin was like, this is not the level of self-care that we are used to.
Yeah.
What are you do? Do you hate us again? Are we
Yeah.
going back
What
10
have we
years?
done? Oh shit, he's gonna get the Molly now.
Yeah, exactly. Jamie, can you give us some ASMR while Cassim looks for this?
Sure. Today, we have not seen any tarantulas,
Okay.
but just yet. Okay.
No, Jamie was that was good. Come on.
And that was good.
Can you do any noises while you do it too? Like you have to be like, you got a hair in your mouth. What are you doing?
What's that?
Try and make noise in my teeth.
Do the. Jamie's tapping her teeth right now. Yeah,
I like how that's what she thinks ASMR. Like that's
that
what
was
they
close.
do, right?
Yeah, no, that was
But
good.
did you learn that because you watched ASMR?
No.
Or
Can you wait? Do the thing you did before that, where you were like, "Yeah, that's good."
get real close. Get real close on that mic and do it. Just give me 5 seconds. Yeah.
No, that one doesn't do
can't
it. You
hear-
got
I
to do
can't
something.
hear it.
You got to give us something that like. That's not working.
Okay, Jamie, do that. Just whisper like to our pajama pants listeners. Just like say,
Okay.
like, thank you for listening. Just like very soft. Use your lips and your tongue.
You do it.
That he always does. He always crosses that line. Oh, you just
Yeah.
don't say the word tongue,
Nope.
and that would have been great.
Yep. You're too. You went too far.
Read the email, Cass.
This one's from Fly Doll. Hey, just want to say before I go full throttle here, love the podcast and the dynamic the three of you have together. You guys remind me a lot of me and my two best guy friends when we're hanging out and just chopping it up. And ironically, one of them moved recently like Jamie did. We don't see each other as much now. So listening to this feels familiar, and I can tell your connections are genuine and effortless. Anyway, I hate getting my pussy eaten by any
She said before she goes full throttle.
I know.
I love how I don't read these at all before. Anyway, I hate getting my pussy eaten by any man. And anytime I have this conversation with people, they think I'm lying. But genuinely, I just hate the way it feels. 95.9% of the time, I'd rather get finger banged. Shove like 2 fingers in that bitch, swirl it around a little bit, and let's get the party fucking started. We don't need to pretend that you're this master insane pussy monster. We can just not even go there, in my opinion. I do love foreplay, just not getting my pussy eaten unless a girl does it, though. Then also, when they come up to kiss you, it just feels weird because, like, we're kissing, but it almost feels like the juices leave a silent barrier where I'm just like, sticky. I don't know. Not a huge fan. I got sick of it at like 22 and I'm 25 now, about to be 26.
Hold on. If you you do like getting your pussy eaten, because you said if a girl does it, you like it, which means you do like it. You just don't like when guys do it. So this is
Interesting.
It's a little farcical.
I've only enjoyed getting eaten out twice, and once was by a woman. So I guess if it's a girl, it's cool because we kind of know each other's bodies since we have the same thing going on down there. LOL. But I find that most guys honestly try too hard to eat pussy and go about it so harshly that it just hurts.
Yeah, the title of this email should be "Guys Can't Eat Puss." It
So,
shouldn't
yeah.
be "You Don't Like Getting Your Pussy Eaten."
That was if you were a man writing this email, instead of eating pussy, you was getting a blowjob, and then you go, unless it was a guy, that means you're gay, right?
Wow, observant.
Fly doll. Sexuality
Diagnosed.
is you're on a spectrum. You don't have to be just gay or just straight. You could be bi. Okay.
Wow.
And that's for me, the guy who loves to eat puss.
Mhm.
That's a show, guys.
That was great.
How about it? We went through so much. We started the show very pro Chinese. We had Chinese products on us that you took off in an act of defiance.
But that had nothing to do with it being from China. It was
Jamie
just...
checked out a few minutes ago. She looks like she's like clipping her toenails for the last 2 minutes. I don't know what she's doing, but we're glad you're on the pod, Jamie.
Jamie's killing tarantulas down there left and right.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you. I'll call you when I'm back at work and I'm driving home. And
I was on the phone. We tried to call her.
Yeah,
and
Rob there.
just, yeah,
Rob there as evidence.
Jamie, to send us out, can you do a ASMR of what it would sound like if you killed a spider?
That's what it sounds like running away.
Well, that's all we got for Jamie Kills a Spider,
That's
guys.
a pod, guys. Thank you for watching and listening, and we'll see you next week.